Hi, it's Craig Metrowich from videocelebritynews.com, and today we are speaking to a celebrity superstar chef. In the house, I've got, and it's a beautiful house, I must compliment you on the stunning venue. We've got Enrico Grobbelaar. Now, I was teasing him earlier on. I think Enrico is Italiano. I think it's a beautiful name, but he tells me here it's an Afrikaanse naam. He's a boereseun. Okay, for the internationals, he's straight from South Africa. He's the real deal. Enrico, thank you very much. Earlier on, we did a Facebook Live interview, an intro. So please go and watch that. The address is facebook.com/Metrowich. So you can see our live intro. We're now going to go into more detail on some of the subjects we chatted about. So let's start slightly differently. Let's go to the beginning.
Yes.
You have a fascinating, interesting, and strange, to be honest, now that I know some of the details, on how you got into being a chef. Go back to your youth. Where did your career start?
I first went to a technical high school, and then I went to study polymer engineering for 4 years.
Polymer engineering. That's like Elon Musk. I'm thinking about it. He hasn't like sending things to space and back.
No.
There's a big disconnect. Pretoria to space.
No, it's like pellets. No,
is there no connection?
No, it's little small things that you melt, and then at the end something comes out in the form of a plastic casing. It was tough. It's very much chemically based.
Right.
But I finished it. My dad's an engineer. My brother studied civil engineering. So it's like in the family. But my heart was...
So almost in the DNA, from what you're telling me. There's a little bit of DNA there. I like that.
Definitely. My dad retired recently, but he's a born engineer. I was never a born engineer. I think I was a born chef. I wanted to cook since I can remember. I had to wait for my parents to go away for a weekend to hijack my mother's skin with.
So that's what you were doing. They were wondering why when you came back everything was moved in the kitchen.
No, it was really in Afrikaans. Was kom bakken vol met appelkooskoekies.
Ooh, lekker. I'm glad I ate before. I'm glad we ate before this, because now I'm going to get hungry.
Yes.
Translation-wise, you must understand for international viewers, South Africa's got some amazing, unique cuisine. And if you look at from, let's say, the Afrikaans side, you've got koeksuster, melktat. Yeah, thank you. There's just so many different types of flavors that really you need to come and visit us, especially here in Cape Town, South Africa. You will love the food this side. Just let's going still on that history. So you go from polymer engineering background.
Yes.
What was the next step? How did you get into this as far as a career?
I wanted to. For me, education has always been something that I think one needs not to tread lightly on. You need to have some form of certification behind your name. So I went to Granger Bay Hotel School, and they said to me, you have to have some physical training inside a kitchen before you can join them.
They probably thought you were lost. I can imagine it from their point of view. You arrived and you go, listen, I've done engineering, I'd like to be a chef.
Yes. I must be honest with you. I didn't know what I was going into. I didn't know how my life was going to pan out at all. For me, it was just I wanted to be a chef.
Right.
So she directed me to a hotel in Somerset West called Edinburgh State Hotel. At that stage, the exec chef was Chef Michael Bridgman from Australia. I walked in, I had an appointment. He was an hour late. I wasn't upset. I was excited. I was like...
It gave you an hour actually to chill and think about what you were going to do before meeting with him.
I was observing, I was looking, and then he spoke to me, and I gave him my CV. So there was virtually nothing then. I'm an engineer. Right. And he looked at me and he says, you have an opportunity to have a perfectly good balanced life. You can be home at weekends, you can be at home at night.
So this was he didn't do a sales pitch on you. He basically was saying, listen, it's not as glamorous as you think. Am I right? It's hard work.
It is, but for me, I was too stubborn. I just wanted to work fast with a knife, to cook nice food, and to entertain people. And his words to me was, you guys watch too much Jamie Oliver. It's not working every day with Adidas Techies at G, driving on a Vespa, buying prosciutto in a brown paper bag, go home and put it over a barrel, then taka. He said, this is a serious thing. He said, but if you're interested, then why didn't you take up the position as sculler? So sculler.
What is that? What is sculler? It sounds like, hang on, it sounds like pirates to me, being a layperson. It sounds like the pirates, sculler.
There is a lot of water involved with soap because that's a kitchen porter. A KP, it's someone.
So that's what we call the bottom. Am I right? It's like starting at the bottom of the barrel.
Yes,
yeah, I get it. The bottom of the barrel.
That is mopping floors. That's cleaning, scrubbing pots, stacking them, cleaning glasses, cutlery, crockery. But the thing is, those people are a vital part of the operation.
Yeah.
Kitchen cannot go without. That's the thing. So I've been there for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
He thought I was going to give up within the first 5 days. I took really pride in what I did. I brought his chemical bill down because every time everyone went for a lunch break, I would like dilute half of the washing liquids because I thought the people used enough.
They were overkilling on it,
Yes,
and you're going from an engineering process, pedantic attention to detail.
Exactly.
It makes sense. You could save them a lot of money.
And for me, my whole life has been always, you can do better, you can do better, you can do more. So then he called me in and he said, listen, maybe I'm going to waste your time, but how long are you still willing to do dishes? And I'm like, to what it takes. And he says, okay, tomorrow I can show you something on the larder kitchen, which is Garmager, cold kitchen. And he showed me my very first thing was top and tail, a patty pan, beautiful little veggie there.
So to come in there, so Enrico, what you're basically saying is that we must always, well, first of all, be humble enough and hungry enough, because what I'm getting from you is the hunger and desire to want to get into that profession.
Yes.
And also be prepared to start literally from the bottom.
That's
too often, and this is, look, I've got a daughter, she's 4.5 going, she's almost 5 in August, right?
Yes.
But the point is as well, I'd have to tell her this instant gratification is not actually reality when you want to chase a career. Am I right?
Yeah.
There's hard work involved.
That's correct.
Yeah, and the youth today, because if you look at apps and you look at even live feed and all that, there is instant gratification. But you're not going to instantly prepare, let's say, an event course for 300-400 people. Forget it. There's a lot of preparation involved. Am I fair? Is it fair to say that?
You are 100%. That's experience is you just can't get it in a book. You need to physically work at it. So from here on, the story will go very quickly because the beginning was for me the very important bit. So I decided very early in my life that I'm 4 years behind because I studied. So if I do double shifts for the next 4 years, within 8 years, I will be par with the guys that did chefing at age 19 when they left school.
Right.
So 5 o'clock was my lunchtime, and it, unfortunately, 20 years later, it's now, how can I say, it's still, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's what I do. And I worked extremely hard. By the time I've got qualified at Granger Bay Hotel School, they literally I realized I was financially so far behind because the mates that studied engineering with me was
because they would have been like, first of all, on their path.
Yes.
They would have had the 4 years of work time in their career. Makes sense.
Yes.
They would have got to a higher level as far as their profession, which means the income base would be relative to that position at the time.
That is 100%.
So I get it. Yeah, you kind of like all your mates are like buying houses. Some of them are settling down, and you're going, I've just started the career, this new career path.
Exactly. So I decided after my 3 years when I was done, I said to the chef, I need to catch up. So I went to America for no reason than money. I was wanting to...
The exchange rates.
World currency.
Get it. Yeah.
World currency. I went there for a year. I saved up a lot of money. I came back. And just about a month or so before I returned, I always Googled in a gentleman called Garth Struble because they told me he was the best. And for me to make a career out of it, I wanted to follow the best.
Just to come in there, just for part of my intro as well. So what I do is I do business coaching, sales coaching, customer care, a lot of staff inspiration, and I energize the workplace. And what I found as well is you can learn from the international. So I've got people that I'll definitely look up to. Is that a fair comment? You need to look up to people.
No,
you need to aspire to them. But you need to find your authentic self.
Yes.
And that's what's exciting. When you learn from others, you get mentored, you get coached, and they lift your game to a higher level, and they inspire you to do your best and to shine your authentic best. And looking at your bio, I was very impressed with your bio. And I'll tell you, what I enjoyed about it, I can see you've chosen your own career path, your own unique career path. Yes. And that's exciting. But you were mature enough to go, I need to learn from the mentors out there. And so you got that international exposure.
Exactly. And when you want to do something like that in this trade, those gentlemen do not really like allow you into the environment that you can take their ideas and things like that. So most of the time you have to do things for free. So you'll do your normal job, and then on your off days you'll be someone cleaning fridges, peeling vegetables, just to steal their eyes. That was the only thing I did. So when I heard Gosrel was opening up a school, I thought, listen here, this is going to be a chef giving chef classes. I can only excel my career. Right. So I signed up, and he introduced me with Paul Hartman to competitions, and very soon I've won my first competition. I studied. They introduced me to a very brilliant
chef.
Let's
just come in there now, competitive wise. I didn't know that from a chef point of view, first of all, there's a lot of competition out there, right? You must just say yes or no, am I right? Yes, okay. But not just that, the competition is not just a rock up, you do your thing and that's it. There's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation.
Yes.
To highlight my point, I want you to now tell us about the Olympics. Okay. Now I've heard of all sorts of other sports.
Yes.
Fascinated to know that there is Olympics to do with cuisine, culinary experience. There's judging. Tell us about that. Tell us more now about what does it entail. My question: what does it entail to become an Olympic competitor?
Okay, you have to apply for the Olympic team. You need to go through test trials. You need to do aspect work. You need to do a cook-off. Then from there on, you'll become development squad, and then you need to sacrifice a lot of your private time to do this because there's no remuneration for it.
So it's really giving, Yes, so you giving for yourself and then giving to others the experience.
You train for 2 days, and day 3, the mentors come in, they give you advice, they tell you, I want this changes, you go back to your environment. Obviously, if you're a senior chef, like an exec chef or sous chef, you've got work to catch up. If you're a line cook and you're on a junior level, you just go back because somebody else did your prep and run your section for you while you were gone. Right. Unfortunately for the bigger dogs, it's a bit different. The work just piles up, it doesn't go away.
So you can't just delegate, it down. It's not like, in some cases you can delegate down. In this case, you've got to own it all the way up.
No. Okay. First you arrive back at work, you fix, you make sure that everybody is stable, and then from there on, you still have to do for what's for the next day and the week ahead. And then in between your off time or downtime, or when it's a bit quieter, you need to now fix and repair what you've done wrong, and they want to see new things. So you have to put your mind to it. You're extremely exhausted because you've worked the entire week plus national team.
So it's a physical, just to come in there. What's fascinating me is, let me just summarize some of the key points I'm getting out of this. So when I do business coaching, I look at a methodology, I look at a best practice.
Yes.
Okay, we look at, for example, a blueprint. Clients will sometimes have a business plan, vision, mission, all that good stuff. Yes. But what you're saying is, in your line of work, and that's where the engineering definitely benefited you, is that there isn't really a shortcut to it. You can make things better by taking the whole process and then making it effective. Yes?
Yes, and the only way you're going to get that is by bench strength. Just take your time to grow slowly into it. And you just practice and you train and you just try to improve the whole time, and then you go back to your work. For me, physically, being a competition chef my entire life, trying to do each...
You look good, eh? I mean, considering if you've been competing, as an Olympic, let's say from an athlete point of view, any athlete that has been competing at your level, I see it being there. You have to be passionate. You must want to win. Obviously, you need the accolades. But what about the team spirit? Is it a team sport?
Yes.
This whole experience.
If one member dropped the ball, the other 5 takes the fall with him. It's unfortunately National Magdat. It is a team event. It's not a solo competition. It's not the only judge starters and the only judge mains and the pastry chef. If she mess up, at least the other oaks can make it. It's a unit.
Okay. When you go team camaraderie and vibe, the South African spirit I see coming out there, because if we look at our sport, we are all sport fanatics. Would you agree with that? We are sport crazy in South Africa. We go wild for sport. I now understand better the dynamics of it, because my impression was it's a lonely, it's like singles tennis versus doubles. What you've highlighted, and I thank you for that, is that it's an entire organization effort.
Yes.
Each member's got to do their bit.
Yes.
You might shine and receive the accolade, but it really is the complete combined effort the domino effect of everybody, the support from everybody, so that you shine to win that accolade.
Yes,
Yeah.
the captaincy title is a standard for the Olympics, because the judges, if they have a question, they speak to one person.
Yes.
I've always said, from a captain's point of view, of each and every team member knows exactly what they need to do and how they need to perform their task at the highest level possible. I also say that the team member, when we're competing, each and every team member pull together. No matter what the captains say, you know what needs to be expected and you need to deliver. So that is just, the captain one is you don't fill a massive role like within a rugby team or a cricket team where you strategize things.
Right.
Everything is on the table. You know exactly what to do. You need to know exactly what time you need to finish each and every task and move on to the next one, and how hygienically and clean and you have to work.
So coming in, we're almost wrapping up. I want you to tell me what would be, for somebody watching here, they're young, I'm going to set the scene, they're young, they're thinking about this as a career.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let's start with, what is a massive challenge? So I'll add there. You've got to be committed to hours, am I right? It's not like you're going to have a normal, routine, hourly type of job. Yes?
That's
so tell us in your own words, what would be like the big sacrifice? That's really what I want. What is the big sacrifice?
The big sacrifice is time.
Yeah.
If you want to do the crime, you need to be prepared to do the time.
Yeah.
That's how it works. The thing is, it takes a long time to develop skill. There's a lot of products that's involved. There's a lot of sections in the kitchen you need to learn. There's different styles of cooking. There's different event styles. If you do competitions,
and you'll see your shifts are different. I mean, if you're going breakfast, lunch, evening, they're different themes.
Yes, and the hungry oak is not going to work breakfast, because he's going to work dinner service, because that's where the adrenaline flows massively, and the big boys, that's where they play.
Okay.
But it's definitely time. And then the other thing is also, you need to sacrifice a lot in terms of family and friends. And you think you can live a stable life if you want to be one of the top oaks in the country. But unfortunately, you have to work every weekend. You have to work on public holidays. On the 31st, you have got one of the most expensive menus in the month of December, and you're going into New Year's.
Oh yes, absolutely, because everybody's like looking, where should they go on that massive celebration?
Valentine's Day.
The expectations at a different level, eh?
Yes, and then 8 o'clock on the 1st of January next year, or the following year after your event, the auditors come in to audit you. It's tough. Valentine's
What's the
Day,
highs then? Okay, so I get the just to add to that from a business process point of view, and what is so exciting from a business point of view is there's no real quick, easy, miracle, instant. I mean, I hate those books, by the way. The 10 Secrets to Be a Billionaire.
Yeah, no,
I mean, crumbs. I've read every book I can read on all these different things. Yes, you can get a chapter in there that can get you there.
Yes.
But you still got to do the hard graft.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. No,
let's talk about the higher. What was one of the highs of your career to date? What was a huge high for you? Apart from meeting me, because I should be a high for you, because I know I'm a bit of a stranger. Thanks for that.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
On a serious note, what was the highs for you?
You make me look calm, and that's not the case. But the thing is, to be honest with you, I cannot wrap it up in one event, because it's a life changing thing that happened when I became a chef. I set out my goals. I have achieved some of them. There's still plenty left in me. I still want to develop a lot.
How old are you now? You're a young oak, Mama.
38.
Man, you're bambino. I like your name, Enrico. I'm sorry. All the Italian mates are going to love me for using Enrico is still a bambino. He's not in your career.
Yes.
But I mean, let's talk about that as a wrap up. Chef life expectancy, is there one? Can you go to 80? Can you go to 60? Can you go to 100? Is there one?
I just know from a story that was told to me that when the microwaves were developed, most chefs died of kidney failure, because obviously the microwave, which is in my opinion the French oven, cooks from the center out, and where the most water is in the kidney. So brothers burned out quickly. We lost a few good men there in that era till Sharp fixed it for us. But
Okay, so there's a fantastic life expectancy from a career point of view. There's travel involved as well. Yes, so that makes it exciting.
Yes.
There's team spirit involved, so you're not actually isolated and alone. There's sportsmanship from being a captain point of view and being an Olympian.
Yes.
I get your passion, and I want to thank you very much for your time. My name's Craig Metrowich. If you love this, share it. Tell everybody about this. I really appreciate Henrico. You're a star. Let's shake on it.
Yes.
Okay. I really appreciate your time. We're going to say over and out. I'm going to say, share the light, share the love.